Hey, and welcome to the Leniverse. I am Leni, and it has been quite some time since my last video. I have to admit that after reading the Women's Prize long list, I suffered a bit of not reading fatigue as such, but definitely some book prize fatigue. Also, life happened, and it just became really difficult to find the time and space, physically and mentally, to review the books that I had read. And now I was about to say the day of judgment, the day of the winner announcement is practically upon us. So I thought that I should at least try to make a short video talking about who I think might win. And I mean, the short answer is I have no idea, but that's not a very interesting answer. I find it maybe a little bit easier with the non-fiction, which might sound a bit strange because it's the first year that there is a non-fiction award, and we don't really know. There's no precedents, no previous winners. But I have said from the start that I think Doppelganger by Naomi Klein will win. Not because it is a perfect book, it isn't. It suffers a bit from lack of accessibility. It's really slow going at times, a lot of ideas. And I think that's in part because at a certain point it seems like Naomi Klein has stopped so much searching for answers as she has decided on her hypothesis, and she's finding ways to support it and explain it. And it also asks a lot of questions that it doesn't answer. But I think it stands a really good chance of winning because it has a very broad scope and it deals with a political change that has happened, especially in the United States and in Canada, but also in Europe. And I think it is an important contribution to a social and political discourse that we desperately need to have. On the other hand, we also have, I was about to say, data dependent. I keep thinking of the book as data dependent because, alliteration and also its personal data and how it's used in AI. But of course, the actual title is Code Dependence, which is a play on word with codependency, which is a really cool title, but also has the downside that if you try to search for the title and you've forgotten the author's name, like I have now, then you quickly end up with a lot of self-help books about codependency. But anyway, that book has the advantage that it is surprisingly accessible. I was a bit worried that it would be very dry, very factual, very sort of heavy and technical, but it isn't at all. It reads very smoothly, very easily, and is very focused on the human impact, the human cost, and the human benefit of AI technology. And that's also very important, the debate that we're having, and that often gets a bit locked in AI is scary and it will, steal our artwork and destroy everything. And then on the other hand, it's like AI is the future. And Code Dependent does a really good job at sort of delving into both sides and showing the benefits, the drawbacks, the cost of AI development. I think that stands a really good chance of winning as well. When it comes to the fiction shortlist, things get really tricky because actually half the list is my favorite. Brotherless Night, Soldier Sailor, Enter Ghost. I'd be happy for either of those three to win. Although I do have a soft spot and a slight preference for Enter Ghost. Both because I have an interest in the region and also because I just love Hamlet. I know a lot of people have Soldier Sailor as a favorite. And when it comes to Brotherless Night, that recently won the Carol Shields Prize in the United States. I don't know if that will impact its chances one way or another. If the Women's Prize would be reluctant to sort of copy their much newer sister prize in America, or if they just, don't take that into consideration at all. As for the other half of the list, I can't see Restless Dolly Maunders winning. In part because the author has already won once before, and I don't really think that they will do that this year. Give the prize to somebody who has already won it once. Then again, I didn't expect Dolly to end up on the shortlist either, so clearly, what do I know? As for River West, River East, River West, I know a lot of people liked that one a lot as well. I liked it well enough. I don't really want to see it win. I enjoyed the narrative of the backstory of the stepfather a lot more than the present-day narrative of the stepdaughter. Maybe in part because of my age and that I have teenagers myself, and that has left me with a lot less patience for fictional teenagers when they are being self-centered and short-sighted. Not that I am terribly impressed with the mother in that story either and how she handled things. But anyway, I thought it was an interesting look at China, at the newer developments there. But I just don't think it was as good as many of the other books on the list, on the short list. And then we come to The Wren, the Wren. And I actually think that that might stand a really good chance of winning. Anne Enright has been nominated, or has been longlisted so many times, and it's the, I think, third time that she's been shortlisted, and she hasn't won yet. So maybe this is just like, all good things are three. No, three times the charm. And I haven't read any of her other books yet, so I can't compare. But The Run is one where I can sort of admire it more than I actually enjoyed it. I can see that it's expertly crafted and that it's, doing a thing that clearly works for some people, but didn't quite work for me. It wasn't a me book, but I'm not going to dispute that it has a lot of good qualities. Long story short, I would be really happy for Antighost to win, but I think The Wren will win. And I'm not going to complain if Brotherless Night or Soldier Sailor wins instead. That's it then. Now we just have to await the result, coming up in just a couple of days. And then we can enjoy summer while we wait for the book-along list. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Seriously. Definitely won't. Seriously, I can't. I can only do that kind of marathon once per year, but I'm still looking forward to the book list, and I will definitely read some of them. So yeah, that's it, folks. I will be back soon. Promise.